Students.
Well, what is the idea of yeah, well, bar chart because it's not strict. It's always going to be like a number.
I gave a bonus out if you finished fast.
I would say for most situations, yeah, unless there's that scenarios. Oh, yeah, we had this situation where a student applied something. Yeah, something that will establish that teacher ID, student statement, references, ID, well, we just need to establish that this teacher ID. I mean, we're in our students table. Yeah, we don't.
Because we're only going to use
it's whatever the last table we're going to reference is first table. So
Yeah.
if there was three tables, we're going to reference two tables, right?
It depends on what you want to have. So the important thing is, since we have columns on teacher ID, you know that that teacher ID is going to correspond to ID.
Right. I guess what I'm getting at is, so, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, since we have three tables here, since this is the last table out of the three, we'll reference it's foreign key for the two tables prior to that because it's our
Yeah, this particular situation.
Right.
Yes, because we want to have the ID.
So if it didn't exist, then this is foreign key. I mean, foreign key user.
In this particular situation, we wouldn't need a foreign key just because we don't have any columns in our first table that, I guess I can. But if we wanted to have, say,
But if it was like this instead.
if we wanted to have foods like user
Right. So I'm.
what values? Just like essentially those. We have all of columns that we want. Oh yeah, but we need to know what columns were in the signature. That's kind of. But yeah, but first we need to establish what those names are. So, yeah. Yeah, but there's one teaching student name also. Well, yeah, before that, we want to just establish that what's coming next. Values actual whatever data come on.
Me neither. Weird. Seems like a common name. I had Mr. Smith. I had that.
My music teacher was Mr. Fletcher. That was really weird.
Oh, that is,
It was really
that's
weird.
strange, dude.
Yeah, especially the way how he opened up with it. He was like,
Oh, if that was my last name, I would say Mr. P. Yeah, I had some pretty awkward teachers, but I had some amazing ones too, so it even out. Yeah.
Quite interesting. Substitutes are always the most. You never know what you're gonna get, kind of things. There's one lady called her the butterfly lady. She had like butterflies.
Like real butterflies?
Like dead ones that she made into like.
What the
It
hell?
was so weird.
That's
dude.
terrifying.
And she had like a butterfly collection. She bring a class, like a kid did. And she was like at the time.
It's amazing that
Yeah.
the people that they put into the
I'm like, how
school districts. Jesus, dude. Haven, 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. More or 5?
5 to 10.
10? Okay, 10.
Yeah, so since we started, this is actually my music teacher. Yeah, from elementary school. She's the best.
I've had some pretty interesting named teachers. Like you, like really.
Yeah, you just made me think about my teachers, and I regret I had one teacher that was really cool, and I should have just like tried out for the rest. I should have just been on the wrestling team because he was the coach for the wrestling team, just because he was the wrestling coach.
Right.
It was like a really cool team. I just regret that.
Teachers.
I regret that now.
Just makes me reminisce.
Yeah. All right, guys, about 8 minutes left. Try the bonus if you finished. There's a bonus in Slack. Try that if you finished.
Well, we don't want,
To display
it doesn't specifically want everything. It wants the student names, and the teacher names, and teacher subjects. So we don't need to do anything with the ideas. So I think some of the stars. And so I mean, this stuff I'm a little bit, let's say, it's not explain or just giving aliases.
Who else is really good 3-pointers? Steph Curry,
Clay Thompson.
Tom Thompson,
Clay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
All Warriors.
Pretty
James
much.
Harden's pretty good at threes too.
Yeah.
See, okay.
My
Mm.
boy Joe Ingles, Utah Jazz.
I spelled that right. That's amazing. What's it called when you like run with the soccer ball? Dribbling, right? Yeah, okay. Just like basketball. Interesting.
When you're moving basketball.
I gotta play soccer intramurals. I miss that. I miss soccer. Gym class, that was the best. Flag football, dodgeball,
Dodgeball, dude.
so much fun.
Dodgeball was so much fun.
Kickball, ah, great stuff.
That, oh man, that brings it back.
Softball, oh man.
The kickball.
It should be, dude. It should be mandatory that everyone has recess forever, forever. Like in Japan, they have exercise as part of your work.
Yeah, it's for the work there.
As part of the workday, that
I mean,
they should just have.
like slaves.
They also take care of you in Japan.
They have like sleep capsules.
I mean, it's intense, but the companies do take care of you for life.
Yeah.
Like they used to in America, where you would just work for one company and that's it. You get into a company, you're set, you're done. You're retired. Like your retirement's set. You know, if you ever get hurt, you're covered.
Not anymore.
Maybe not in today's economy, but that's the way it used to be.
That was the American dream.
Student name, teacher name, subject.
Hey, Qua, how much more time? 5 minutes? Okay. All right. 5 minutes and that's it. Five more minutes. And then we're done. If you don't include that where clause, I'll just. Okay. You just get rid of the verses. Well, we'll also.
Most of his version would rather.
Yeah, but I think we want to give it a specific value.
Or we rename it right here.
I think we're actually. So, I will. I guess
All right, minute 30. We're gonna go over it. About 30 seconds. We'll go over it. All right, guys, let's go over it now. All right, so make a table called teachers, ID, name, subject. All right, so what's the first words we use, Sandy's row? Good, create table, right? So we're gonna do create table. I have this right here. If not exists, you don't need this here. If not exists, you don't need this here, but it's there. Create table teachers, ID, name, subject, and which one's the primary key, Sandy? ID is a primary key because right here we're saying primary key ID right here. What's the limit of characters on the name column, Joe? 255, good. And can we put a null value inside the name column, Haven? No, because we have a not null constraint on it. Excellent. So this is our teachers table. And which line did we create the database on, Rob? 19. And what's the purpose of line 21, Judika? Line 21?
Change our database.
Great. We connect into teachers DB. We get into that database. We change it. Great. So now the students table looks like this, right? Which column here is which line number has the foreign key, Derek? 34, right? 33, 34, right? This is where we establish our foreign key, teacher ID. And what table are we, what table does line 33 reference? Teachers, right? And which column inside teachers does teacher ID reference? The ID column right here, right? Because the teacher ID column here references the teachers table ID column. Questions on that?
Why do you use not exist?
Which line?
Not exist.
Just, you don't need it. It's just saying create this table as long as it doesn't exist already. You don't need it though. Yeah, right there. Okay, so here I have some inserts. Right, so just had some fun right here, right? So added 2 basketball players, 2 soccer players, and 3-pointers, dribbling. So what's the ID of line L, Joe?
So the ID,
Mhm. 3, right? Because it just goes in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's auto incrementing. And here we're going to insert some students right here. And so who is Kristen's teacher? Messi, right? And who's Fernando's teacher? Clay Thompson. Nice. Right? And yeah, Cristiano does not have any students, right? Yeah.
Apparently he's not a very good teacher.
Okay, so Sandy asked a good question, right? You know, you have 500 or 1,000 rows. How do we make sure we select the right ID, the foreign ID? So this is where we can use a subquery. This is a really good use case for a subquery, meaning let's just say Rob, we're trying to put Rob in. Rob's like, my teacher's Cristiano. And let's just say we had 1,000 teachers. We don't, but let's just say we do. How do we know exactly what that ID is without having to count, right? Or look at that table? Right here, this would select Cristiano Ronaldo's ID, right? Select ID from teachers where name equals Cristiano Ronaldo. So this will grab the ID of Cristiano Ronaldo, and we're going to put Rob in. So Rob would go into the name column, and the ID of whatever this query returns would go into teacher ID. I haven't tested this though, so we'll see if it works after I run this command.
So with that, you have to know the teacher. You have to know all the teachers' names.
You would have to know the teacher's name, yeah.
And how it was entered.
And how it was entered, absolutely, right? Because if this was 2 spaces, it wouldn't work, right? So let's just try this. And let's go to here. Nope. And damn it. There we go. Showed, what was it? Source 06. Great. And show tables. Select star from students. Great. So it inserted Rob, but what the hell? His teacher ID is 8? How did that happen? Is that true? It should be 4, unless I screwed something up majorly.
You also have a lot more students. If you go back to my table, you have a lot more students that are displayed than
Oh, I did this last class. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just drop this database and redo it. What was this? What was the name of this? Teachers _ DB. Okay. Select star from students. There we go. 4. Cristiano Ronaldo. Right? Thanks, Kristen. Yeah. Same example from last time. Okay, so this did work. Good. Right.
If you didn't have Cristiano Ronaldo on there, just added him as a teacher.
It should fail. The query should fail, right? Because we have a not null flag here, and this wouldn't return. If there was no Cristiano Ronaldo, it shouldn't return an ID. It would return null, and then the query should fail because of that flag. Good question, right? So this is a subquery, right? And this is the perfect use case for a subquery right here, right? Okay, so going down, write a SQL statement that shows all the students' names and their teachers' names and the subjects their teachers teach, right? So select, and I'll write it up here. So select star from, and let's go to Quasro. Oh, right here. So write a SQL statement that shows all the students' names and their teachers' names and the subjects their teachers teach. Oh, let's just start off with this part. Yeah. Good, right? And then up here. Good. and their teacher's name. So now what would I do on the next line? Let's go to Kristen's row. Let's join teachers. Excellent. And how would I join that together?
Teachers,
Students dot teacher underscore ID. Great. And right here we put teachers dot ID equals students dot teacher underscore ID. It doesn't matter which one we put first here on this line. It matters what we put here and here, right? Because what's going to happen, we're going to select everything from what table? Students, right? And we're going to join it to what table? Teachers. Good, right? And so now if I want the teacher's name, what would I put right here? Let's go to Nick, Sandy. If I want the teacher's name.
Teacher's name.
Great. And then if I want the teacher's subject, what would I put? Perfect. So let's try this. So name, subject. See, these aren't that descriptive, so let's optimize our query or change it up. Right, so if I want to rename this column as like student name, what would I type? Haven's row.
As student.
Excellent. And then what about this one?
As teacher.
Perfect. And let's try this again. Student name, teacher name, subject. Cool. All right, so now let's do the next query. What's this? Oh yeah, so the next part was deleting student one, right? And if you want to delete student one, you do delete from students where ID equals 1. And if you don't put where ID equals 1, it deletes every single student, right? And you'll never get them back. So just be careful with that. And over here, you could delete a student with the name column also, where name equals Fernando, if you want to delete Fernando. And then if you want to update a student, you do update student set the column name equals the new value, right? Where you want to do the update, right? I want to update row 6, right? The row with an ID of 6, and I want to update the column teacher underscore ID to be 2. Questions on this? Okay, so that was a left join. If I change this up to a right join, it's going to grab everything from which table? Teachers, and it's going to join it up to which table? Students. Good, right? So that's all a left join. It's pretty simple because it's just the rule, right? If it's a left join, you're going to grab everything from the left table, sync it up to the right table. If it's a right join, you're going to grab everything from the right table and sync it up to the left table. That's it. That's all it is. Now there was a bonus. Write a query to get the number of students each teacher has. So who wants to go for it? Select, good, right? Count. Students.name. It could be really anything, but yeah, we do students.name. Teachers.name.
Join students on teachers.id equals students.teacher.id. Delete by teachers.name.
Right, so we're counting the number of students, right? This could have been students.id also, right? But it's fine. So we're counting the number of students per each teacher. And we need to join both tables together. right? Because the teachers table doesn't have student information, and the students table doesn't have, well, the students table does have teachers information, right? As a teacher ID. But if you want to get the teacher's name, then you need to sync both the tables together, right? And we're joining on teacher's ID and teacher ID because that's where they're common, and we're grouping by the teacher name. We could have also grouped by the teacher ID, but if we want to display the name, you have to group by it. So let's try this query. It should show Cristiano Ronaldo having one student, Rob. Good. And Messi has the most. Cool. Questions on this group by? If we don't put a count at all, it might not be good. It might just show the teacher's name. That's it. Yeah.
No, sorry. So don't you count the
Oh, do the count, then just
No, don't do the count.
Don't- student's name like this. Like this. It should throw an error, yeah, because you need to. Well, you would have to group by the whatever information you put here. You have to group by it. So we'd have to group by the student name and the teacher name. Cool. With these things, you kind of just don't know it off the top of your head. You kind of play around with it. You first do a select star, and then you join, right? Then you might do a group by. You're not going to do it top down. You're just not going to know it off the top of your head, except for an interview, right? That's when you kind of memorize a few things before your interview, so you know what a left join is, a right join is. You could just do it off the top of your head a little bit, right? But generally, you just don't know it right off the top of your head. Okay, so that was that. And if I do select star from students, it grabs me all the students. But this is kind of tough because if let's just say you have a database with a lot of records, right? I'm going to give you that. Well, it's in the resources channel. I gave you all of March Madness 2017 data. It's going to be hard if you have like 5,000 records, right? To browse through that. So what you can do is you can do select star from students, limit 1, and it brings me just one record from the table, limit 1, right? And I have that right here, right? And if I did limit 3, it gives me the first 3 records right here. If I wanted to get, let's say select star from students, offset 1, limit 1. I did this wrong. What the hell? Okay, that might be Postgres. Let me just do offset in my SQL example. Okay, I maybe have to do the limit and then the offset. Let's try that. Yeah, so now it skips the first record. Skips the first record. And gives me the next 3 records right here. So when would you want to do this, right? Sometimes you see on sites, you'll see the first 10 records, and then you'll see pagination on the bottom, like page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So they're not actually returning all the data to the page. They're returning just 10 rows, right? And then you click 2, then they're doing an offset on the first 10 and getting the next 10, right? So that way it's trying to increase speed, like page speed, right? Sooner or later with when there's 10G, people can write really bad code and it won't matter. But for now, it does matter. Okay, so that was the limit. And so let me get into the March Madness database and show where it matters. So show databases. Where's March Madness? Great. So if I do select star from teams, right, 1464 records, right, that wasn't that big of a deal. There's another table that would be bad. Select star from that one, right? So you saw how it scrolled. Like I'd have to really keep scrolling to get to the top. All right, so instead we could just do a limit of 1 just to quickly see what the data kind of looks like right here and the columns. All right, so this is just an example where a limit is very useful. Now, going into subqueries a little bit more, there's an in property. There's an in property, and what you can do over here is I could say, give me all the students where the teacher ID is 1 or 4. Is 1 or 4, right here. And that's what this does, right? It grabs all the students that have a teacher ID column set to 1 or 4, right? So let's run this query right here. Go ahead.
So in the case of the previous example, that would be Perry and Ronaldo. Right? That's what you would be calling.
Yeah, exactly. Use teachers DB. So over here, we grab all the students who have a teacher of 1 or 4 right here. So if I did 2 and 3, it'll be different, right? Because they have many more students. So over here, we have Fernando, and then we have all of Lionel Messi's students right here. So this is a subquery. A subquery is like, these are IDs. These are IDs right here. These are IDs right here. And this right here, this query is the same thing as this right here. I just have to change this up to dribbling. And so I change this up to 3 and 4. This right here is the same thing as this right here. Right, so this is Lionel Messi and this is Cristiano Ronaldo, and this query will get me 3 and 4. So let me just run this query right here inside. It returns 3 and 4. Right, so this query right here returns 3, 4. Why does it return 3, 4? Haven's row. This one right here.
Because it's where subject equals dribbling. The third and fourth.
Perfect, right? Exactly, right? So if I change this up to select star from teachers where subject equals dribbling, it gives me 3, 4, but it also gives me the name and the subject right here. But if I just change that up a little bit, instead of star, right here I did star. If I don't do star, if I just do ID, it gives me 3 and 4. Right? And if I put this select query right here in these parentheses, it's going to grab me all the students that have a teacher have a teacher that dribbles, that specializes in dribbling. In the previous example with the insert query, that's a really good use case also, like this one of a subquery, a query within a query. I've destroyed your brains, sorry. Okay, so it's 1:55, but what I want you guys to do right now is to go into Slack, go into resources. I want you to download this SQL file and I want you to source it. Don't open it. it will crash your, it'll probably crash your Sublime text. So just source it into MySQL. And Joe, give me a thumbs up when you're done with that. So I basically imported a bunch of CSVs. So it doesn't look, that's why it looks a little weird.
Getting a bunch of errors.
When you ran source on it.
Says no database selected.
Okay, looks like you have to do this first. Okay, so what you're gonna have to do, guys, real quick. If you do these two first, then it should definitely work. Did it work, Haven? You didn't get any errors, right?
Yeah. No errors.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have to create and, oh. The script doesn't have no, you have to do that first before you source.
Where's your Explorer? I'm trying to go into your files. Where's that? But I went to your C drive.
Oh, yeah. But,
There you go. There we go. That is what you can do.
what I did.
Now. It's all good. I was just hoping there was going to be something else other than what? This is going to make it easier to write lyrics.
Oh. You're in the same folder, but you have to do your.
Just the wrong password.
Yeah. It's like picking words.
Oh, no. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my password.
I don't know.
Oh,
So you don't ever have to try to remember. Like you did, I said, just like
Is that file here in this?
Yes, that is
Oh,
not.
there.
Oh,
Oh, okay, why?
Oh, it's Mark Madison. Yeah, he did it. All right.
why should I be all complicated?
I do this.
Apple conspiracy.
Yeah. So,
It's just this. Oh, here we go. Here's all your databases. These are your databases? Have you made any other databases?
just the ones that we have. I downloaded this one.
I think that's. All right, once you get it imported, then you're good. Let's see. Yes, schemas. So you should.
And then
It's the first thing I did. What do I do?
one of these.
Open the SQL script file and use subqueries out. I want to do that. Creating SQL passwords, queries. The SQL file is
Yeah.
it's not doing.
Well, I got it.
having to click into an app. Use this now.
Yeah, you can put it anywhere. Just reference it. Yeah, reference. Yeah, that's other. It's either you go to that folder or run to anywhere. Search the right place. Yeah.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, let me try it here.
Alpine, Christ. Teams inside database. We have teams, we have seasons, we have stats for March Madness. It's like a ton of different from 2017.
What's going on? Dude, was it supposed to be that complicated?
Sorry, man.
You're like,
Yeah, you called it right, man. You fried like right.
yeah, I'm like half alive right now.
Half alive
I'm
only.
like, is this real life? Trying to